And CBS News national correspondent Omar Villafranca is also in Houston, just outside of the city's convention center. And that's where the evacuees are being taken. Omar, tell me, what sort of relief is available for the victims who have been caught in the storm?
Well, for them, first of all, the challenge is actually getting here. We arrived here on scene, and we want to show you some video of some of the people who are arriving here to the George R. Brown Convention Center. Some people are now coming on buses, but some people were being unloaded from dump trucks because they have a higher clearance. And that's honestly, in some places, that's the only type of vehicle that it's able to get through, if not a helicopter to rescue them from above. Now, here at the George R. Brown Convention Center, they will have a cot. There's also doctors here on site, so if people need some simple medication or they have any aches and pains, they're here. This shelter is being run by the Red Cross, so when the Red Cross is here, that means, of course, they're going to have food, they're going to have water, and they're also going to have a blood supply just in case anybody needs any sort of emergency situation here. But it's really quite interesting. You may hear a lot of yipping and barking behind me. Of course, people love their pets, so a lot of people here who were rescued brought their pets. Well, just a few minutes ago, there was a very long line in front of me here because they were not allowing people with their pets to go inside the convention center. Well, the city and the Red Cross are working on that. And what they're going to do now is allow the people to come in, and they're going to put the pets in an area where they'll be safe, and they also won't be causing any damage to facilities around here. As you know, pet lovers, they're not going to go anywhere without their pets. And honestly, we saw hundreds of people in line waiting to get in to get processed, but when they told them they couldn't come in with their pets, they went to the side of the line. One of the most dramatic things that I saw here, and I'll try to keep it together for this, there was a 14-year-old girl here who survived Katrina, and she was 2 when that happened, and she's here, and now she's here with her pet and her family, and she's hoping she never has to go through this again.
It is so emotional, Omar. I can only imagine for these people. And you mentioned we're seeing these pets. The Houston Zoo tweeting out just a short time ago that all their animals are safe. Oftentimes in these disasters, people forget about just how important it is to take care of your pets. I want to ask you, when you talk about the people, Omar, how many are expected to come to the shelters?
At this point, we already went inside. There were several hundred already people, and they are processing them in. And this is not the only shelter. The Red Cross was setting up shelters all around town. The big problem is it's not raining right now. Give us 15 minutes and it'll be a torrential downpour. They're having a problem getting their volunteers and supplies to actually open up the shelters. They're having to wait for the U.S. Coast Guard to escort them in a high vehicle so they can get the supplies and the volunteers there safely in order to open the actual facility and the shelter. So that is a huge problem. And on cue as I speak, the wind is picking up, which means there's going to be a band rolling through here pretty soon. That is a big problem. The Red Cross is doing the best that they can, and a lot of the city, county, and actually National Guard is here as well, helping people. But it's humans versus Mother Nature, and pretty much Mother Nature is always undefeated. So we're trying to figure out exactly how quick they can get those shelters open, process people in, because they're expecting thousands more people. As we said, rain is on the way again. They're talking 50+ inches. They're not sure what the forecast is for this storm, if it's going to go back into the Gulf and come back out. Houstonians who I've talked to here, and keep in mind, Houstonians are used to flooding. In certain parts of town, they know they're going to get plenty of rain. But the problem is, this type of rain, many of them have not seen. This is Hurricane Allison-esque for them, which means their jaws are on the floor. It is absolutely unbelievable. Places that usually never flood in Houston, case in point, an area called River Oaks. George H.W. Bush, when he's in Texas, lives there. Parts of that area are flooding heavily. So places that don't usually flood are now underwater, Rena.
It is just incredible, the impact. I want to ask you, you talk about, Houston is a town about 6.5 million people, Omar. How do they think they'll be able to deal with all these people if the rains continue and more people come? Are there enough room? Is there enough room in the shelters?
Well, not only shelters here, of course, they're opening up as many as they can. There's shelters in San Antonio. At last check, had over 1,100 people. I just learned that the city of Dallas, which is a good 4.5 hours away, about 4 hours away, actually, they're going to be opening a mega center for evacuees to head up there. The big problem is getting the people up there. The roads are absolutely flooded, and it's literally hour by hour. This right now probably cleared up several roads, but when that band comes in, another band of rain comes in, a separate road will go underwater. They're just going to have to wait and see what is actually passable before they can get things moving again.
Omar Villafranca outside the convention center there with evacuees. Thank you so much, Omar.